Discipline is not what you think it is. You have been sold a lie by motivational posters and Instagram quotes that show someone waking up at 5 in the morning, running through the fog, sipping green juice, and smiling like life is easy. That is not discipline. That is a highlight reel. Real discipline is quiet, uncomfortable, and often invisible. It does not care about your feelings. It does not wait for you to be inspired. And today, we are going to strip away every myth you have ever believed about it and replace it with 10 cold, hard facts. Facts that will not make you feel good in the moment, but will change the way you operate for the rest of your life. Stay until the end, because fact number 10 is the one that most people never learn until it is too late. Fact number 1. Discipline is not motivation, and motivation will always fail you. Motivation is a chemical spike. It is dopamine responding to novelty. It is the excitement of a new gym membership, a new notebook, a new plan. But chemicals fade. Novelty wears off. Within days, sometimes hours, that spark is gone, and you are left with the same task and none of the excitement that made it feel easy. People who wait for motivation to act are gambling their entire future on a feeling that was never built to last. Discipline is what happens after motivation dies. It is the decision to keep moving when there is no chemical reward waiting for you. This is why people who seem naturally disciplined are not more inspired than you. They have simply stopped waiting to feel like it. Fact number 2. Willpower is a finite resource, and most people burn through it on things that do not matter. Psychologists call this ego depletion. Every decision you make during the day, what to wear, what to eat, what to reply to that text message, draws from the same mental battery as the willpower you need for your real goals. By the time you get to the gym, or the desk, or the hard conversation you have been avoiding, your battery is already half empty from 100 meaningless choices. This is why disciplined people simplify their lives. They wear similar clothes. They eat similar meals. They remove decisions, not because they lack creativity, but because they understand that willpower spent on trivial things is willpower stolen from what actually matters. Fact number 3. Your environment is stronger than your willpower, every single time. You can have the strongest intentions in the world, but if your phone is next to your bed, you will scroll before you sleep. If junk food is in your kitchen, you will eat it eventually, no matter how strong you think your self-control is. Discipline is not about becoming a superhuman who resists temptation forever. It is about engineering your environment so that temptation is never in front of you in the first place. People who rely purely on willpower are fighting a war they will eventually lose. People who redesign their environment win without even having to fight. Fact number 4. Comfort is the enemy of growth, and your brain is wired to protect your comfort at all costs. The human brain evolved to conserve energy and avoid risk, because for most of human history, unnecessary effort could get you killed. That survival wiring is still running today, even though the threats have changed. Your brain does not know the difference between a saber-toothed tiger and a hard workout, a difficult conversation, or an uncomfortable deadline. It resists all of them the same way. This is why every meaningful goal you have ever avoided was not avoided because it was impossible. It was avoided because your ancient brain flagged it as a threat to your comfort. Discipline is the practice of overriding that signal, again and again, until discomfort stops feeling like danger and starts feeling like progress. Fact number 5. Small actions compounded over time will always outperform big bursts of intensity. This is one of the hardest truths for people to accept, because we live in a culture obsessed with instant transformation. But real change follows the same math as compound interest. 1% improvement each day does not feel like much in the moment. It feels almost invisible. But stretched across a year, that 1% compounds into a completely different person. Meanwhile, people who rely on occasional bursts of intense effort, the all-or-nothing mentality, the extreme diet, the one insane workout after months of nothing, almost always burn out and quit. Discipline is not intensity. Discipline is consistency that does not care how you feel on any given day. Fact number 6. Identity change comes before behavior change, not after. Most people try to build discipline by focusing on outcomes. I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to save this much money. I want to write this many pages. But outcomes are outside of your direct control, and chasing them without an identity shift leads to frustration. The people who actually transform are the ones who shift the question from what do I want to achieve to who do I want to become. A person who identifies as someone who does not miss workouts will act completely differently than someone who is simply trying to lose weight. Discipline is downstream of identity. Change how you see yourself, and the actions become inevitable, not optional. Fact number 7. Discomfort tolerance is a skill, and like every skill, it must be trained deliberately. Nobody is born with the ability to sit in discomfort without flinching. Every person you admire for their discipline has trained that tolerance through repeated exposure to things they wanted to quit. This is why cold exposure, fasting, hard exercise, and deep focus work are so powerful, not because of some mystical benefit, but because they are controlled doses of discomfort that teach your nervous system that discomfort is survivable. Every time you choose to stay in an uncomfortable moment instead of escaping it, you are literally rewiring your tolerance for future challenges. People with low discipline are not weak. They are simply undertrained in tolerating discomfort, and that can be fixed. Fact number 8. Accountability without self-awareness is fragile, but self-awareness without accountability is just theory. Many people believe that if they simply understand themselves deeply enough, discipline will follow naturally. It will not. Insight without action changes nothing. On the other side, some people rely entirely on external accountability, a coach, a partner, a deadline set by someone else, and the moment that external pressure disappears, so does their discipline. Real, lasting discipline requires both. You must understand your own patterns, your triggers, your excuses, and you must build systems, whether internal or external, that hold you to your word even when insight alone is not enough. Self-awareness tells you the truth. Accountability makes sure you act on it. Fact number 9. Rest is not the opposite of discipline, it is a requirement of it. This may be the most misunderstood fact on this list. Hustle culture has convinced an entire generation that disciplined people never stop, never sleep, never rest. This is not discipline, it is self-destruction wearing a productive costume. The nervous system that never recovers eventually breaks down, and when it breaks, it takes your consistency down with it. True discipline includes the discipline to rest on purpose, to sleep enough hours, to take recovery days, to protect your mental health as seriously as your goals. People who burn out are not undisciplined. They simply never learned that rest is not a reward for hard work, it is fuel for the next round of it. Fact number 10, and this is the fact that changes everything once you truly understand it. Discipline is not something you have. It is something you rebuild, every single day, from nothing. This is the fact most people never learn, and it is why so many give up after failing once. They believe that discipline is a permanent trait, something you either possess or you do not, like eye color. So the moment they slip, miss a workout, break their streak, give in to a temptation, they conclude that they must not be a disciplined person after all, and they quit completely. But that is not how discipline works. Discipline is not a trophy you earn once and keep forever. It is a fire you have to rebuild every morning, from whatever ashes are left from yesterday. The most disciplined people you know are not people who never fail. They are people who have simply gotten extremely good at rebuilding, fast, without shame, without a 3-week spiral of self-pity, just a quiet return to the next right action. This is the difference between someone who transforms their life and someone who stays stuck in the same cycle for years. It is not the absence of failure. It is the refusal to let failure become identity. So here is what all 10 of these facts point to. Discipline was never about being a different kind of person than everyone else. It was never about having more motivation, more willpower, or more natural talent for consistency. It is a series of decisions, small, unglamorous, repeated decisions, made in moments where nobody is watching and no reward is coming. It is choosing the harder 5 minutes today so that tomorrow does not become an emergency. It is designing your environment instead of fighting your impulses. It is training discomfort like a muscle. It is resting on purpose and rebuilding without shame every time you fall short. Nobody is coming to install this in you. No video, no book, no motivational speech will do the work for you. But now you know exactly what the work actually is. The only question left is whether you will close this video and forget everything you just heard, or whether tomorrow morning, you will make one small decision that proves you are already becoming someone different. If this hit you the way it hit me while writing it, stay close, because the next episode goes even deeper into rebuilding a mind that does not quit.